Welcome to our show.
Pleasure to be here today.
You spent over a decade as an electronic engineer. What inspired you to become a yoga consultant?
Well, like many Indian boys, I followed my father's, uncles, and grandfather's footsteps, and to become an engineer was natural for me. And I had a very fortunate engineering career. I worked around the world in several very good companies: audio, telecom, microelectronics, petroleum. And at the same time, in parallel, I was also practicing, studying, and teaching yoga. And I found that the two complemented each other very well. For example, when I was reading the yoga books, I was looking at it from the mind of an engineer. How does it work? How can I use this? And also, from this perspective, I could see that the principles of yoga were very beneficial for the work environment, for the employees, and also for the success of the company. And I've had the inkling to do something about this. It was churning in my mind. And it took 3 years, and finally, with the birth of my son, I finally felt inspired to... Jai, correct. To leave behind my official engineering job and start what was meaningful for me. Bodhi.
Some people consider yoga as a workout program. Some people consider it as a spirituality. What is yoga?
It is all of those, actually.
It started 5,000 years before.
Correct. What you're holding there is what's called a Pashupati. It's an ancient artifact which was found in Harappa and Mohenjo-daro back in the 1920s. It shows a very classic yoga posture where you have a man sitting clearly in introspection, and it was heavily influenced by nature. As we can see, there are animals and trees. So it's said that yoga originated over 5,000 years ago.
Right.
It's accumulated a lot of wisdom along the way. The word yoga comes from the root yug, Y-U-J, which has the same derivative as in English. It means the word yoke, which means to bring together, to join.
Union.
Union, exactly. It could be union of the body, mind, and spirit, experiencing the commonality in those. It could be the union of the conscious self with the higher realm. Or it could be seen as the union of opposites, finding equanimity when one is faced by pleasure, pain, success, failure,
good or bad.
Good or bad, exactly. Another good definition of yoga is science of self-awareness. It's also seen as a science of introspection and self-evaluation and evolution.
Right.
And the final definition, which is helpful, is one that you can see yoga as a very intense and effective detoxification program, essentially shedding all the toxins, physical and mental, when you find yourself in your true state, which yoga defines as Sat Chit Ananda, which means existence, knowledge, and bliss in an absolute sense.
What are the basic principles of yoga?
Well, according to Swami Vishnu Devananda, who was regarded as one of the first yoga masters to come to the Western world and establish centers and ashrams, a true yoga master, he distilled down yoga into 5 basic principles. And they are proper relaxation, proper breathing, proper diet, proper exercise, and positive thinking or meditation. And my program goes into the mechanics of this in greater detail.
Okay. Regular yoga practice helps to reduce stress.
Correct.
And increase well-being. Could you tell us about that?
Yes. In the West, we have the word asana. And asana essentially, as described by the very important yoga text, Patanjali Sutras.
All the poses.
Yes. The word asana actually means sitting in meditation.
Okay.
So all the poses have this common goal of being able to sit in stillness for a meaningful duration without being disturbed by aches and pains and turbulent thoughts. So that's the meaning of the word asana. But it's plural. Asanas has come to describe all these postures that we are familiar with. And they have a lot of medical benefits. The most obvious ones are, of course, it improves flexibility, tones the body, and improves concentration, improves stamina. There's also research done that shows that yoga is very effective at addressing some more serious problems such as heart disease, hypertension, arthritis, diabetes, depression. So it has a lot of global benefits. But asana postures in particular have benefits as well. For example, the Sarvangasana, or the shoulder stand, is very good for treating varicose veins. It's very heart-friendly. It stimulates the thyroid, parathyroid glands, so it balances hormones. And also it refreshes the brain with oxygen-rich blood, so you have better concentration, better memory. So those are precise benefits of a singular asana, and they all have their own benefits.
Please tell us about your organization, Bodhi.
Bodhi. Well, the Bodhi, the word actually comes from the root word Bud. And Bud means to awaken or enlighten, to become aware of. The tree under which Gautama Siddhartha meditated and achieved enlightenment is called the Bodhi tree when he became the Buddha.
Yes.
So the Bodhi seed is very rich in tradition. And the intention of the company Bodhi is to plant these seeds in various organizations and maintain a nurturing environment where it may flourish.
Tell us about the intention of the Bodhi.
Bodhi fundamentally has three intentions. The first one, of course, is to bring optimum health and wellness to the organization. And this is using this powerful and profound ancient tool of yoga. And this has a natural byproduct of having successes for the company in terms of reduced absenteeism, reduced sick leave, reduced burnout, reduced turnover, reduced health insurance claims, more focused work environment, more content workspace, and all those things. And finally, of course, to achieve those, we need an authentic yoga teacher. So the final purpose is to have yoga teachers who teach authentic yoga be standing yoga professionals.
How people can contact you?
Best,
you have a website?
Best way would be www.bodhiprinciple.com.
Nice talking to you.
Pleasure was mine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.